Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
It's Brother Shalom, ya.
Brother Kamal Mahar.
Coming at you with a quick lesson, but first and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Taught us truth and real well. Shalom to you, Akim, is pushing the rock to the four corners of the earth. All right, Akim. It was this video. So me and a brother basically just want to do a quick RFID update. It should be about 15 minutes, something quick, a little quick hit. But we found this very interesting that Canada is literally ramping its efforts up. So we know that Canada, if you didn't know, Canada has been locked down completely, where Americans can't go into Canada and Canadians can't go into America. They even have restricted immigration visas. Put it like this: they're completely locked down, where no one's allowed into their country. Right. So here's their leaders, Toronto, Canada leaders, and I got this from the page off of Hebrews and Negroes. Even though we know those brothers is going off a little bit with their doctrine, they still post some pretty good information. All right, so I'm gonna let this play for real quick, and then we're gonna get into some scriptures. I'm gonna bring up some other articles. All right, start that from the beginning.
Throughout the pandemic, we know that the world has changed and government must change with it. But change in government is not always easy. It often requires a will and a drive to enable that shift. That is why our government is seizing this moment to deliver government programs and services which meet the public's needs with unprecedented speed and convenience. Ontario Onwards, Ontario's COVID-19 Action Plan for a people-focused government, is that plan. Building on what we've learned from the pandemic, this action plan includes more than 30 initial projects that will bring major change to government, both in what it does and how it does it. One of our signature...
Now, brothers, be very diligent on listening to how he's speaking. He's talking about changing government and changing how the government actually works. And we already know that Esau wants to bring in his new world order. We know that Esau wants to implement a new system, a new democracy, a new way of doing things, more of a totalitarian order, or more like a dictatorship. All right, keep listening.
Projects in the action plan is a digital identity that can allow you to safely hold and use the personal information that's found on physical government IDs online, including driver's licenses, health cards, and birth certificates. Citizens will eventually be able to do more transactions and access more services online, and businesses can be partners in accelerating easier and more convenient interactions for people. Starting in January, the government will consult with industry on how the province could introduce a secure digital identity for Ontarians by the end of 2021, including the strong privacy protections that will make sure you only share what is needed when it's needed. Now, you will need to keep a driver's license or health care card in your real wallet, at least for a little while. But we will start introducing new ways to use your identification online beginning next year. With a digital wallet, your identity is in your hands, on your device, and under your full control. Let me give you a few examples of what might be possible. Let's imagine a small business owner needs to register their new business within the province. With a digital identity, the owner or authorized representative of one of the thousands of new businesses started every year in Ontario could skip one or many trips to an Ontario government office and use their digital ID to register their business online. A student could skip a trip to the bank to open their first account by verifying their identity online. And a senior could check into a doctor's appointment remotely from the parking lot or lobby, maintaining physical distancing and by avoiding the lineup in the waiting room. And here's another example. Each year, approximately 50,000 farm vehicle renewals are processed and can't currently be completed online. With a digital identity, an Ontario farmer could choose to renew their farming vehicles online instead of visiting a Service Ontario location in person. So these are just some possible ways that with a verified digital identity will make interactions with government for people and businesses simpler. With our action plan, we're transforming government, moving Ontario onwards, and putting the people at the center of everything we do. Thank you. Throughout the pandemic,
Salakia, these devils think they slick. Now, mind you, a lot of people don't understand what biometrics is, man. Biometrics, matter of fact, I'm just going to pull it up for you. I got an article. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to, let's see. Now, mind you, before I get into the article, this is basically immigration and citizenship for Canada. Coronavirus disease, COVID-19 biometrics. They're making it mandatory. They're putting out more and more websites on getting people ready to get moved over to biometrics. Now, biometrics is going to end up turning into the RFID chip, because the more information that the governments have or Esaus has, then they'll be able to start implementing the RFID chip. So what's happening is right now is a lot of people don't know that biometrics is all automatically sent to the UN. United Nations is getting all biometrics. Now I'm going to go to the website. Let me go to the website. Biometrics, Homeland Security. I'm going to read a little bit and then we'll bring some scriptures out. It says biometrics are unique physical characteristics such as fingerprints that can be used for automated recognition. At the Department of Homeland Security, biometrics are used to detect and prevent illegal entry into the U.S., grant and administer proper immigration benefits, vetting and credentializing, facilitating legitimate travel and trade, enforcing federal laws, enabling verification for visa applications to the U.S. DHS provides biometric identification service to protect the nation through the Office of Biometric Identity Management, which applies a technology for matching, storing, and sharing biometric data. OBIM is the lead designated provider of biometric identity services for DHS and maintains the largest biometric repository in the U.S. government. So they're literally collecting your data. They're saying that it's for a security, but what is national security for the white man? Being able to control everything and everybody, right? Now, I'm going to read this last little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read this last bit. The system called the Automatic Biometric Identification System, or IDENT, is operated and maintained by OBIM IDENT. IDENT currently holds more than 260 million unique identities and processes more than 350,000 biometric transactions per day. So they're literally, what they're doing is they're compiling everybody's biometrics and data before they outroll this RFID chip. Because trust me, this data is going to be implanted into these chips so they could be able to easier be able to track you. That's why they're putting out more surveillance cameras in most cities. You can find a camera on almost every corner, every block, every crevice. You can find everything everywhere. And these devils are systematically trying to make this thing seem like it's a good thing. Yeah, it's going to keep you safe. It'll keep your identity safe. That's why if you notice that a lot of these companies like TransUnion, Equifax are talking about identity theft is on a rise. Keep your identity safe with us. They do identity block. All this. These are the type of things that they're trying to tell you. Hey, listen, we're going to help protect you from these things. We'll help you we'll make life easier for you. All you must do is basically sign on the dotted line, your soul. You know what I'm saying? The RFID chip is coming. So we're going to get into some scriptures real quick. We're going to go into the blue letter real quick. And we're going to go to Psalms, I believe it's Psalms 55 and 21.
I like how they using they're using all these different special ideas and examples on why it's best to get it and why it's more convenient. That's exactly what they're doing.
Because the devil's a damn liar. Mm-hmm. It says, Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Mm-hmm. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And this is literally what Esau's doing. Esau, you just heard Ontario, Canada talking about new government, new ways of using government, and talking about the biometrics. That is nothing but control in the New World Order. Their agenda is being placed in countries like that don't really have an army, that don't really need, that are surrounded, that basically don't really go to war. When have you heard about Canadians going to war with anybody?
Right.
Yeah. So it's easier to control the people when the people are already docile as a whole, right? And then what do you think is going to happen to Great Babylon, aka America, when this happens? Mind you, they're already ramping up COVID-19 cases, talking about over 66,000 or something in like 1 or 2 days. Cases in Philadelphia alone, they're saying over 600 people in a day contract the COVID viruses. But then also listen to the fuckery. California is an open state, right? California still has not had a rise in coronavirus cases. How are they open, having more people immigrating, going over there for partying, and basically and having fun, holiday if you want to call it, and they're not on the rise, but all the other states that are still shut down are on the rise. Come on, man. Listen, I'm going to read that again. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. What is in Esau's heart? Because he knows he has nothing but a short time. He's going to come down with great wrath because he knows war is in his heart. He's looking to divide and conquer. That's why they're saying, hey, listen, biometrics. Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure most people have heard of the real ID that they have. They haven't really pushed it, but they're saying, hey, if you want to do travel to certain states, if you want to travel out of the country, you now must have a real ID. Starting in 2021, you will have to have a real ID and also a tourist visa to travel out of the country now. So they're putting more documentation, more things out there. And what they're going to say, hey, instead of having all these documentations, why don't you just get the biometric scan? Why don't you just get the RFID chip? That way, you don't have to worry about the hassle of waiting in line. You don't have to worry about the hassle of dealing with long wait times and stuff like that. You'll be able to walk in. We can scan you real quick. You're good to go. But we already know in Revelation 14, Revelation 14, where it talks about who takes the chip. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Revelation 14 talks about whoever takes the chip. You basically turning your back on the Father. And turning the back on the Father is basically instant death. All right? So let's bring out some more scriptures.
You go to Psalms 58. Psalms 58 and 3. It says, I'm sorry, Slakia. 58 and 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Speaking lies. What does Esau do? All he do is lie. He lies for his own personal gain. Yeah. He knows that he has but a short time. I just brought that out. He knows he has but a short time, so he's going to lie. They're the habitual liars. It's funny how Esau's crafty counsel, and the Heavenly Father says, I will uncover their secret parts. Mm-hmm. Shame will cover them. And literally, this is what's happening. We already know the shame is covering them with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, even though that's a bunch of BS anyway. But, they're estranged from the womb. All they do is speak lies. They're talking about keeping you safe when really they want to destroy you. Right. They want to control you. They want a population control. And brothers, I would advise most brothers to go watch the show on, I think it's on Amazon Prime, called I think it's called Euphoria.
Or Utopia?
Utopia. Brothers, go watch Utopia. It literally gives you a little synopsis of what's going on today and how these devils think. They think that they're helping the world by lowering the population. They think they're helping the world by having more control. These devils are wicked above all else, man. Go ahead.
What's that? Let's see. Go to Micah 2. Yep. It says Micah 2 and 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
And this is literally what these devils are doing. They literally sit there in these councils thinking, how can we destroy these people? How can we have more control? How can we control every aspect of life? And this is what the New World Order is. Now, people are not thinking. We're about to have another lockdown. Trust me. They're ramping it up for another lockdown. And I think I brought out in a video I did with the brothers a couple of months ago about their plans. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. About the plans of Esau. Matter of fact, yeah. So it was so I'm gonna just read it. I can't pull it up on the screen right now, but it says this is part of their plans. It says enforce the phase 2 quarantines at much more extreme levels, increasing the penalty for defiance. Replace fines with jail time. Deem all travel as non-essential. Increase checkpoints, including military assistance. Increase tracking, tracing of the population. Mandatory apps. Take over control of food, gas, large-scale shortages so that people can only get access to essential product services if they first are given permission. Real ID. Nandri, you were getting this biometrics. Nandri, when this next lockdown happened, because if you know anything what's going on, what country is that? If you go to RT, it was yesterday, I think it was Nova Scotia. They just went into one of the hardest quarantines known to man, where literally you can't even go, if you're not part of essential, you can't even go to the market without permission. So literally, this is what it's saying. And all these things are happening in smaller countries before it happens in America. But we already know Europe and America is going to get hit hard. Part 7 of their plans, it says, keep the phase 2 lockdown in place for a much longer period of time than the phase 1 lockdown, continuing to destroy the global economy, further degrade the supply chain, and further amplify the food shortages and the like. Quell any public outrage using extreme actions, force, and make anyone who defies them appear as public enemy number one to those who are willing to submit. Now, mind you, so when all hell's about to break loose, when the second lockdown comes down, right? And when people really are going through food shortages, the American dollar is going to drop. Now, a lot of people not understanding why hasn't the American dollar fell yet. I talked to my brother about it earlier. I said, look at it like a relationship. You ever been in a relationship where you stayed in it for so long because you're just comfortable with it? You've been with it so long. So let's say you've been with the chick for so long, you're just comfortable with her. Even though she's toxic, she's annoying, she gets under your skin, you just haven't let her go until what? You won't let her go until it becomes critical, until it becomes detrimental to the point where, look, we gotta let it go. It's too risky to keep this around. That's what the American dollar is to the world. With these with these lockdowns and these real IDs and everything, they're ramping things up. Because another lockdown, America's not going to be able to last another lockdown for 6 to 12 months to a year to 2 years. Trust me, it will literally destroy the American dollar and the economy, which we already know that's what they want.
Right.
So they can implement the RFID chip. But this is how they're going to do it. So first they're going to what? They're going to start getting everybody's information, biometrics, whether it's face scans, fingerprints, DNA, whatever they need, right? They're going to start putting it into their system. We just talked about the biometric system, right? They're going to put it into their system, their database. And mind you, most people don't even understand this, and most of biometrics is sent to the UN, and we already know that they have UN vehicles, military, and troops already in America stationed ready to go. Why is that? Because they know what's to come. And I just read on phase 7 of the lockdown, it says keep the phase 2 lockdown in place for a much longer period of time than the phase 1 lockdown, continuing to destroy the global economy. Mind you, once the global economy falls, which is the American dollar, once it pops, guess what? No one is going to want to rely on anything that's tangible anymore. It will all be digital currency. Digital currency, real ID currency. Everyone's going to be able to know who you are, what you're doing, and literally where you going. Complete totalitarian control, new world order.
So what was the first lockdown? Was between March to what was that about August? March to August. When did it?
Yeah, like March to August, like something like that. It was like March to August, right? And then another thing is, remember Fauci was on national TV was like, prepare for the winter and fall for coronavirus is to spike. He said that in midsummer.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, fall is here, and all of a sudden everything is just spiking.
Right.
Literally, the Esau. Listen, that Heavenly Father told us to be watchers, man. And we're watching. We're not ignorant of their devices, man. Matter of fact, get that real quick.
Yep. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, "Lest Satan should get advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his devices."
We are not ignorant of his devices, man. Lord willing, the Heavenly Father, keep us and the brothers and the Aki and that's pushing this truth from the hour of temptation, because we're doing the work. But listen, we're not ignorant of his devices. We see what Esau is trying to do. We're not stupid, Esau. We're not stupid. Let me read the last part of phase 7. It says, after a rather long phase 2 lockdown, 6+ months to 2 years, roll out the vaccination program plus vaccine certification and make it mandatory for everyone, giving priority access to those that submitted from the start, and have those that are for it attack those that are against it. So mind you, sedition among men. They're going to have the people, the sheeple, the people who take the RFID chip, go against those who didn't want to take it.
That makes sense because basically make the lockdown so long that when they do the vaccination thing, they're going to probably say, well, listen, if you want everything to get normal, tell them boys to get the vaccine.
Exactly.
So it's their fault if we don't open it up now.
Exactly. We're not opening back up because they won't do it. And this is where you watch the movie Demolition Man. Right? Remember how all the people who didn't want to be part of society were underground?
Right.
They weren't necessarily evil, but they didn't want to be part of that new world order society?
Right.
Boom. Think of the movie End Time, right? In End Time, bro, you had to what? You had to re-up on your time to be part of society. And if you wanted to go into certain places, you had to have a certain amount of credits to get in it. How were they scanning each other? Through their arms. That's chip in their arm under the skin. Right. Bro, Esau, we are not stupid. We understand, man, and we worship the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We are not fearful of you, man. We do not fear you. We fear the one that can kill the soul and the body, not the one who can kill the flesh, man. Quite paraphrasing, man. You know? And hopefully this was edifying, brothers. We wanted to just bring this out real quick.
Yep,
with that, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, taught us truth and rule well. Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.